Hi, I'm Jessica.
And I'm Kira.
And we are
the Keepers of the Books,
your online librarians, and we're here with another weekly reads. But first, it's time for Bookish news. Before I Fall by Lauren Oliver, very popular young adult book, will be coming out in March.
Zookeeper's Wife, a best-selling novel for adults, will be coming out March 31st to theaters.
And Wonder by Palacio will be coming to theaters in April. Captain Underpants by Dav Pilkey will be coming out in June, and I can't wait to see that one because Captain Underpants is just fun and it's fantastic for reluctant readers.
And our favorite part, January 23rd, we'll be tuning in to watch the ALA Youth Media Awards. Bomb. Not Bob is written by Liz Garton, Scanlon, and Audrey Vernick, and illustrated by Matthew Cordell. Oh, in this book, the little boy is sick, and everybody is having a hard time understanding him. And every time he calls for Bob, his dog Bob comes over. They figure out what he really wants. Well, the illustrations in this, they're minimalist, but they're very eye-catching, draw you right to that part of the page, and very entertaining if you read the little captions by the little boy, like this one says sniff. There's some funnier ones. I like how they just kind of go together and really bring the story to life. Great for preschoolers up to probably about first grade or ages 3 to 6.
This book comes out in February 2017, so next month, and it's to be read as though you have the worst cold ever. There is a reason for that. And this is a review book from Disney Hyperion. Star Wars Obi-Wan 1, 2, 3, a Galactic Basic Edition. This was written by Calliope Glass and Caitlin Kennedy, and this comes out in February 2017. The illustrator is Katie Cook. I love the characters' big heads and big eyes and bright colors. That's really going to pull kids into the story. Each number features a character or a creature from Star Wars and a poem to go with it to help the kids remember. And it goes all the way to 20. So this is a very cute book with some of your favorite Star Wars characters. Parents will love this as much as kids. The poetry is engaging and the sounds really help beginning readers.
There is an ABC 3PO out as well from the same authors.
And this is a review copy from Disney and Lucasfilms Press.
Soldier Song by Debbie Levy and Gilbert Ford. This is an amazing nonfiction book. It really told a part of after the Battle of Fredericksburg that I didn't realize had happened. So after the Battle of Fredericksburg and the Gettysburg Address occur, you have two sides, the Unions and the Confederates. The Unions are really down on their luck because they just lost the big Battle of Fredericksburg. A lot of people were injured or died. According to this, they lost like 13,000 people to this battle. And so to raise their spirits, the Unions sing songs that they're familiar with. The funny part is, some of these same songs are universal for the Confederates as well as the Union. So at times you hear them both singing and eventually they kind of bounce off each other and create their own songs. I like this book a lot because it has primary sources. It has a quote and then who said it and when they said it. It has really cool illustrations along the bottoms which are eye-catching and fun to look at. So you have the story that's basically a fictional retelling, and then it's based off of primary sources. So it's a great way to use it for Common Core because you can compare the two sides and compare and contrast. It has some great resources in the back. I'd say this could work for anywhere from about 3rd grade as a picture book all the way up through high school. And that's a review book from Disney Press, and it comes out in February.
So my history teachers like to cover the songs of the time when they go through and they cover U.S. history, like slave songs, the history. Does this have the songs in it that go along with it?
So it does. It's right at the back of the book. So you'll see that it has the words as well as the composition with the notes in case you have somebody who's skilled at playing the piano or something. You can either have someone play it and everybody sing it, or you can just have everybody sing it a cappella. And it'll be most of our songs people know, so it's a great way to introduce songs of the times.
What a great accent to a history lesson. The Sun is also starred by Nicola Yoon. Many of you heard me say that I was looking forward to reading this book because I really liked everything. And this is about Natasha. Natasha is an illegal immigrant from Jamaica. She was here, her passport expired, and their family is about to be deported. And then you have Daniel. Daniel is the son of some immigrants from South Korea, but he was born here, he spent his whole life here, and he doesn't even have an accent. So this is the story of their chance meeting. Daniel's a love at first sight. Natasha's mostly worried about her family and trying to save them and save her life here because America's all she's ever known because she was so young when she came up. And then you have the universe and its role it plays and its little karma. And it shows how different people interact in the book in different perspectives. perspectives. And I really like that piece of it. I could not put this book down. I read this in one sitting. It was just, you were really drawn in and you saw different people in different perspectives from their perspective, from the other people's perspective. And I think that's really good for teens to see that. It has a little bit of language and a little bit of content, but not a lot. You could go down to 8th grade with this book, but honestly, I think most kids who are interested in this are going to be grades 9 and up, so high school, and that's ages 15 and up. You are going to find that you're going to have some new adult readers who are interested in this as well, because the movie has been optioned and will be coming out soon. Okay, I don't want to spoil anything. You can see what's going to happen in the story, this unexpected romance that just cannot be, and the love and stuff that can develop in a day. It just seems magical, and how they help each other. In the end, there is an alternate ending, and the truth is, I wish the alternate ending was the main ending, but I guess you're left to discover that, because the concept in this book that is explored is the dimensionality of different choices, and how in string theory it's that there are so many different dimensions where just a slightly different choice was made, and these are all parallel dimensions. You get the view of, well, what if this one choice during the day was different, or what if it was that one choice, or what if somebody just said hi to that person. That's really a good concept for people to, especially teens, to realize that they are affecting other people's lives and not just their own. This book is a starred review from many different places, including Kirkus Reviews and School Library Journal, and there is a reason. This is a fantastic book. If you like John Green, or if you like Lauren Oliver, if you like Gail Forman, Conrad's, those deep romances that may or may not end happily, then kids are really going to like this book, because there's a lot of dimensionality to these characters, and you see their cultures and everything else playing into that.
Princess in Black Takes a Vacation by Shannon Hill and Dean Hill, illustrated by Pham. In this book, Princess in Black is in desperate need of a vacation. She's had 13 monster calls this week, one of which pulled her out of bed. If you haven't read the other Princess in Black books, Princess in Black is really Princess Magnolia, who's a very proper princess. But as soon as her monster call goes off, she turns into the superhero known as Princess in Black. She desperately needs the monsters to quit coming out of the hole so she can have a vacation, until her friend, a mysterious person known as Goat Avenger, promises to let her have a vacation. Will she actually get a vacation? I like this book because it has really colorful, beautiful illustrations, as well as there are parts where it has superhero action words like Sleepy Slam, Sluggy Swing, Double Dozy, Doozy Fling, which reminds me of the action words like in Batman. This is great for those who are in between easy readers and chapter books, because it's got a chapter style format, but still has the really big illustrations that go inside with the text.
I love Princess in Black because she can be such a proper little princess, and yet she can be an action-packed, kick-butt kind of girl. So she's a great role model for girls in this age group. Holding Smoke by Elle Cosimeno. This is a review book from Hyperion. This is about John Conlon. John's had a rough life. His dad is in prison for the attempted murder of his son. When John's attempted murder takes place, John has a near-death experience. That near-death experience leaves him with the ability to astral project. So John's dad is in the maximum security prison. John ends up in the juvenile prison. John ends up there because he's accused of a double homicide. John insists that he did not kill the woman who was murdered, and the other person who was murdered he says he did kill, but it was in self-defense. So the hooded man that John says is there, nobody can find evidence of it, and so his testimony doesn't go so well. The evidence is not adding up in either direction, but he does end up in prison for those murders. He uses the information from his astral projections to trade for things in prison. That's his currency. People think he has connections on the outside. In one of his favors, he meets a girl named Pink. Pink's a waitress, and she has the ability to see him. She's a medium. She's the first person who's seen him. She can hear him. They can communicate. He reaches out because he wants to find out more about his astral projection and how to connect with that and how to control it and all of that. So there's obviously much more going on in the prison than he understands. Things are showing up. Things are happening, and there's stuff going on outside, and there's just a lot going on. This is a fantastic book. I read it in one day. It was really hard to put down. This is going to be a great book for boys, grades 8 through 12, or ages 13 through 18. This is a review book from Hyperion. Thank you, Hyperion, for this book.
Welcome to Wonderland, Home Sweet Motel by Chris Grabenstein. He is a national best-selling co-author of iFunny and Treasure Hunters. The other author's James Patterson. He also wrote Escape from Mr. Limoncello's Library, which is a great read if you haven't read it. P.T. Wilkie is living at Wonderland Motel with his grandpa and his mom, and he swears Wonderland Motel was there long before Disneyland was. And it is a kid's favorite hangout, in his opinion. It gets free ice cream, there's poolside service, there's all these outrageous fun things to do around the motel, but the problem is nobody realizes it's there. His grandpa owes $100,000 to the bank and it's coming up due in 30 days. Can he save Wonderland Motel? This is a great book for those who like Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Dork Diaries, The Strange Case of Origami Yoda, because it has the illustrations that really add to the humor and complexity of the plot as well as the actual text. The characters are well developed. They really don't just draw the reader into the story, they drag them into the story. This book is impossible to put down. If you like realistic fiction that's really funny and has those illustrations, you'll like this. I would recommend this for ages 8 all the way up to age 14 or 3rd grade through 8th grade. This is a review book from Random House at kissthebook.blogspot.com, so thanks for sending us the book.
Passenger by Alexander Bracken. This is a New York Times bestselling author of the Darkest Mind series, which I absolutely loved. Now, this book is about a 17-year-old violin prodigy. Her name is Etta, and she's on stage. She's life-changing performance will be the beginning of her career. And then she hears a sound, and before she knows it, her entire world and everything she's worked for is completely turned upside down. She is transported to another place and another time. She has no clue what's going on or anything else, and she has to unravel her family's past and the complexity of the time threads and find the astrolabe and figure out who is really telling the truth and who's on her side and what's really going on. You are constantly moved in both time and place. So it does seem a little slow at times because the author has to build and describe the places, the times as the character figures it out, and the character's history. The end is completely abrupt and you have to read the second book. It's just, you can't stop there. It just doesn't work. I'm really glad that the second book is out and it's ready to read. This is a great book for those of you who obviously like Alexander Bracken's other series. It is different, and while that series seems older, this one could go younger. It just doesn't have as much language and the other content that Darkest Minds ended up having later in the series. This is a great book for fans of Sarah J. Maas. I'm going to say this book is great for grades 8 and up or ages 13 and up. You could go younger on this book if you have a really good reader. Just some minimal violence and there's really no language or anything like that. There's a little kiss here and there and some pining, but nothing else too extreme. This is a review book from Hyperion. Thank you, Hyperion. And my review of Wayfarer will be coming up in a later review this month.
The Curse of the Chocolate Phoenix by Kate Saunders. This is the follow-up story to the Whizz Pop Chocolate Shop. You may remember Oz, Lily, and Caden from the previous book if you read it. If not, don't worry, you can still read this out of order because I'm not going to spoil too much for you. We'll just say that they have 2 talking animals, Demerara and Spike, who are real stinkers at times. I mean, just imagine your dog or your cat being able to talk. What happens is there is a breach in time that is caused by an evil witch named Alba and her sisters, and they are trying to steal this magic chocolate that was created by these kids' great uncle. Now they're stuck solving the mystery and stopping them because these 3 witches are going to go basically through time and unravel as much of history as they can to cause havoc. So it's up to the trio and their 2 wonderful animals to figure out how to fix time before it's too late. If you like fantasy, adventure, mystery, you'll love this series, and you'll even want to have to go back and finish the first one because you'll just love it. I would recommend this for people who liked the Candy Shop War series by Brandon Mole as well as Magical Bakery series. This would be great for ages 8 to 12 or grades 4 to 6. If you have a more advanced reader, you could go as low as 3rd grade, but I think even up through about 8th grade could enjoy this book. This is a review book from Delacorte Press and kissthebook.blogspot.com. Thanks for the review book. Cursed Queen by Sarah Fine. This is a companion novel to Imposter Queen, so I promise I won't spoil too much because this is told through Ansa's point of view instead of the Imposter Queen's. Ansa is what they call a raid prize of the Grigari. She's risen up in ranks as one of their powerful warriors. They plunder, they raid, and kill as necessary. She has a significant other known as Thera, who is a girl. The more they are with each other, the more they fall in love. But something happens where they go on a raid to Kapari, and suddenly Ansa feels like she's cursed. She can wield fire and ice powers and has been called upon to stop a very old enemy. Will she be able to control her powers? Even though this may sound like your typical fantasy, it really isn't. Very action-packed adventure, and you really fall in love with the characters. This is a great fantasy adventure that is definite page-turner that makes you fall in love with the characters and is not as typical as it may sound to some, I promise. Due to having a lot of violence and a lot of LGBT content, this would be better for grades 8 and up or 14 to 18. And this is a review book from Simon & Schuster. So thanks for the review of a copy.
Thank you for joining us for our weekly reads. Next time we will be back with more review books for you, and we have some great ones coming up. We will have a Beauty and the Beast book haul coming up very, very soon. We just have to read a few more books. And if you like this video, please hit subscribe and hit like, the little thumbs up button. Those are awesome, and they help other people and you to find your other videos later. And please share with your friends. Also, please put in the comments below any questions you have for the librarians. We love to answer those questions because we are librarians. This week in the comments below, what books are you most looking forward to seeing as possible winners for the upcoming ALA Youth Media Awards? Is there something you have your eye on for the Caldecott or the Newbery? Or is there an audiobook you really love for the Odyssey Awards? Please share what you think should be in that list from the committee. Please put those in the comments and we'll see what ALA brings us. And I'm sure we'll have our comments and opinions coming to you soon as well. Until next time, happy reading. Bye.
Bye.